Aloha, everyone. Today, we have Don McGuire, CMO of Qualcomm, with us in sunny Maui. Thanks for coming, Don.
Thanks for having me. It's really good to see you.
Yeah.
Welcome to Maui.
Yeah, it's great to be here. So we have this event at Maui every year, and I think it's very special this year because Maui is trying to rebuild itself after the fires, and Qualcomm made the decision to come back and help the community. So I think it's very special.
It is very special. Snapdragon Summit has become such a part of Maui, and Maui has become such a part of Snapdragon Summit.
Exactly.
So we felt like if we're going to come back this year, we really need to do it in an empathetic way. We need to understand what the community needs, and we need to string sort of connection to the community throughout the entire event. And we've done that, I think, really successfully with some of the initiatives like planting seedlings to reforest the areas that were burnt. And I think we planted over 500 collectively as a Snapdragon Summit community, and then packing backpacks for people that are moving back into housing. Today, again, over 500 backpacks were packed for family members in the Maui community. So I think all of those types of things together, as well as all the exciting announcements we've had here at Summit, has made this really special.
Yeah. It's really special. And the announcements were all very unique and I think groundbreaking. So there are lots of big announcements during the summit, but if you can pick out some of the biggest in your view, I think that would help.
Sure. Well, in general, Snapdragon Summit has always been the event to announce our new latest and greatest state-of-the-art Snapdragon platforms across all of our different product areas, whether it's XR or mobile or compute or wearables, things like that. But this year specifically, on top of the normal cadence of platform launches, we had two sort of special narratives. One was more of a horizontal, which is all about Gen AI.
Right.
And that was a thread that threaded throughout all of our different announcements, as well as all of our different keynotes and conversations. The second one is obviously the launch of Snapdragon X Elite, which is the first manifestation of a platform that includes our custom-built Orion CPU. So it's a big moment for us, especially when you look at the performance numbers and you look at the leadership we have vaulted ourselves into in the mobile computing space. So two special things this year that have made Snapdragon Summit, special again for the attendees, and continues to make the platform that this event has become unique and special every year.
Right. And it's affecting the whole industry, I think.
Absolutely disruptive.
Right. Yeah. So Qualcomm had changed the mobile industry. We had companies like TI, Philips before, but Qualcomm has really kind of become the champion of this industry and the leader. So going to the PC industry, it looks like you're going to disrupt the PC industry as well. Can you kind of share your plans on the PC industry, the vision, and some ongoing plans?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think the PC industry has needed disruption for quite some time. And I think with the advent of Snapdragon X Elite, the generative AI movement, I think that the definition of personal computing is about to change forever. So if you look at a couple of inflection points, one being the PC as a device and its role in people's lives during the pandemic fundamentally changed. The use cases changed, the needs from it changed, and it kind of breathed new life into the product category because people needed to use these devices to actually just connect and communicate, whether it's for work or with family and friends, in addition to their smartphone. And so that sort of breathed new life into the PC as a useful device. But the devices themselves weren't delivering on that use case, right? Cameras were low quality, the connectivity wasn't pervasive, the mobility wasn't there, and so a massive upgrade cycle ensued. But again, the legacy PCs weren't built with these new use cases in mind. Add on top of that Gen AI, right? And you have a whole different set of expectations that are being set with the likes of Microsoft with Copilot, and the PC ecosystem was still sort of stuck in the old ways. So, enter Snapdragon X Elite, enter our AI capabilities, and our ability to drive this hybrid AI model, right on device with our platforms. And it's truly disruptive. And it actually is leveraging the inflection point. And we strongly believe that we are redefining what the definition of personal computing really means.
Yeah, it looks so. It looks like it could be like a smartphone moment for the PC industry.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you have that plan, but I saw that you had a lot of good announcements on the marketing side as well. Partnerships, very exciting. F1, Manchester United. So can you tell us about the story behind the Manchester United marketing?
Sure. I mean, Snapdragon Summit is rooted in product, obviously. But the product and the brand kind of live hand in hand together, right? The brand is the manifestation in some ways of the product and its capabilities. It's the way you express it to the world, is through the brand. And then the creation of brand value then drives back into business value, which then manifests itself through this, the increased sale of your product. And so it all works together, sort of harmoniously. So we've injected conversation about the brand as a contributor to the success of our products. And we talked about metrics that we've shared with the audience here in Hawaii, because we've built amazing brand value around the world for Snapdragon, which is creating then lift for our products within our OEM ecosystems and with consumers. And then we dug a little bit further into the how. Right? How are we doing this and what's driving these metrics? And that's where our partnerships and our community building efforts have come into play. And so I talked a little bit about some amazing partnerships that we currently have and how we determine what partners we engage with to enhance our brand value. And then talked about the amazing Snapdragon Insiders community and how we're coming up on 14 million strong, and how that community has yielded so many benefits. Again, to driving brand value, which in turn then helps us drive business value.
Right. Great. So Qualcomm, I think you have a vision for the industry, and it's not just mobile or PC. It can go beyond that.
Sure.
What's Qualcomm's vision and plan for other industries going beyond mobile for the next 12 months or 24 months?
Well, I mean, under the Snapdragon sort of brand ethos or ecosystem, we have several product categories that are very exciting. We have everything from smartphones to PCs to XR devices to wearables to cars. And we don't necessarily talk about all of them every year or at the same time, but these are all amazing product categories that are experiencing one way or the other, either extreme growth or extreme digital transformation or reinvention or disruption, as we talked about earlier. So that makes a really nice playground for this event. But even beyond Snapdragon Summit and beyond the Snapdragon product ecosystem, Qualcomm has historically always been this great innovation engine. And we, all the billions of dollars we put into R&D, all the generations of wireless that we've driven, right, in the connectivity space to now, the reinvention of personal computing, right, with X Elite, and then creating horizontal, open, scalable platforms so that ecosystems can be built on top of that. We've been called the great enabler. We've been called the great ecosystem driver, and those are all tags that we're proud to wear because we believe open and scalable is the best way to drive innovation. When you're closed and vertical, you stifle innovation. When you're open and scalable, you encourage innovation. And so whether it's across, various IoT spaces, right, Industry 4.0, smart campuses, smart cities, or just in general across defined product categories like automotive, which if you ask, a lot of people, they think one of the industries that's most being disrupted by digital transformation is automotive.
Correct.
And we have the BMW i7 here at Snapdragon Summit this year. And I just sat in it and did a tour of it and did a social video of it today. And oh my gosh, the experiences that BMW has put into the i7, with the help of our platforms,
Right.
our entire digital chassis is represented in the i7, from cockpit to connectivity to ride, to car to cloud. It's truly amazing. And so there's so much beyond mobility, and there's just so much beyond even the Snapdragon product ecosystem for Qualcomm to talk about as we continue to tell our story more holistically and more broadly.
So the i7 also has a Qualcomm processor in it.
Several
That's great.
Several Snapdragons inside that thing.
Not just one.
No, it's not just one. I mean, I don't know if you had a chance to sit in it.
I have.
Yeah, but the back, that 31-inch display and the back seat, yes, 31-inch, 8K display, and the back seat powered by us. The displays in the cockpit on the front, powered by us. The displays on the side of the doors, powered by us. The 5G and Wi-Fi connectivity in the car, powered by us. And the driver's assistance, which is level 2+ for the i7, powered by us.
Yeah, that should have a powerful processor.
It does. It has to. Right. Because driver's assistance is, and sometimes life or death, right? Or accident, no accident, right? And so having our Snapdragon automotive platforms driving these amazing experiences, which is creating this idea of the car is becoming a new living space, which BMW has shown off in a very, very compelling way in the i7, is pretty cool.
Yeah. So I think because you're a leader, you also kind of face competition, because during this event, we've heard announcements from Apple, NVIDIA, AMD. They're all kind of jumping in and chasing you. So I think...
we like to be chased.
Exactly. So what are your views on competition jumping in and
what is the term? The highest form of flattery, is imitation. So, look, we have the unique position where our technology is so pervasive that we play in a lot of different sandboxes, in some sandboxes, we're the ones with all the dump trucks, and everybody has to come and ask if they can borrow our dump trucks. And some sandboxes, we're the new kid sitting in the sandbox, and so it just depends on the sandbox. In PC, we're not the incumbent. We haven't historically been the leader. We just claimed leadership, by performance and by the metrics that matter to the ecosystem and eventually, to the end user. In smartphone, we've been the leader, and we continue to be the leader. And so, in some ways, we have to think about it in continuing to drive our leadership position. And then in some instances, we have to think about how do we become the leader. And the competition is different across product categories. We have different competitors in different places. And we're highly respectful of those competitors. They're all unique and doing interesting things in their own right. But we are here to play. In the sandbox. And not get kicked out of the sandbox. So it makes my job super exciting and my team, because it's just always interesting on how we have to address markets and audiences, and how we have to look at what we've got versus the competitive environment. How do we build sustainable differentiation, new USPs, and how we move up that leadership curve is always a nice challenge to have to deal with, depending on the product category. So it's really exciting. The attention that we're getting is very flattering.
It's a good thing.
It's a great thing. It's a fantastic thing. We don't mind it at all. And so it's fun. It makes it super fun.
And it kind of hints that you're going the right direction. Because everyone's
absolutely
jumping in to follow you.
Everyone's jumping in, we're on everybody's radar. Which is kind of cool.
Okay, this was great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very, very insightful, and kind of helping us understand what's up for Qualcomm in the industry.
It's been my pleasure.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Good to see you.
See you.